Hey guys, welcome back. If you're new to the channel and you like Japanese maples and garden related video content, consider giving my channel a subscribe. Today is June 10th, Saturday. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's been about a week and a half since MrMaple Fest open house, and I thought I owed y'all a video, maybe a recap video, and you see I got some trees around me. I'm gonna do a kind of an open house haul video, if you will. Show you what I brought back. But do a little recap. So I left out Sunday, May 28th for East Flat Rock, North Carolina. We left out about 8 o'clock that morning. Arrived in North Carolina about 3:30 that afternoon. Stayed at the Lodge at Flat Rock. Very nice hotel. Very rustic feeling, very nice courtyard, nice waterfall in the back. If I can find any pictures or video and I can figure out how to plug it into this video, I'll put it in right here. But very nice hotel, very welcoming, very nice. Enjoyed my stay a lot. Only about 7 minutes from MrMaple, which was also a very nice added bonus. But we arrived Sunday afternoon about 3:30. Got into the hotel, you know, rest for a little bit, and then we decided to head into downtown Hendersonville, where we walked the streets for a little while, checked out some shops that were left open, and where later on around 7 that evening we met up with the MrMaple Friends group. There was an event on MrMaple Friends page on Facebook. I'll put the link in the description below for that group. Y'all need to check that out. There was an event where it was called a MrMaple Meetup. We all met up at a restaurant called Mezzaluna right there in downtown Hendersonville. Very nice food. There was roughly around 15 of us that met up, had dinner, conversation, talked maples, talked a lot of other things, and just enjoyed each other's company and had a lot of fun the night before open house. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. My wife, my daughter, and I, we attended that. Met up with several others from the MrMaple Friends group. Matt Nichols was there, one of the owners of MrMaple. Derek Ortiz, y'all probably know him as Maple Nuts, YouTube channel. He was there as well. As many as several others. Miss Jody, if you know Miss Jody from MrMaple, she was also there. Very sweet lady, heads up their customer service department. Does basically everything for them. Very wonderful lady. Yeah, we had a nice dinner, had a lot of laughs, good times, and then we went our separate ways. Went to bed that night, woke up promptly the next morning. I'd say I woke up around 5 a.m. and looked on, just happened to roll over and check on Facebook, and somebody was already at the gate. So I shot a text to a buddy of mine who was going to go, and he actually came and picked me up. Me and my daughter actually went. It was around 5 o'clock, 5:15. We got to the gate around 5:30 that morning. Very die-hard Maple fans. So yeah, we got there, and there was a fella that had slept in his truck at the gate. So I thought that was pretty funny. Where I met up with a few other people, showed up to the gate not very much longer afterwards. Got with a few of them that I knew from the friends group. We took a picture. If I can plug that picture in, I'll show y'all in this video. Plug that in right here. But yeah, we just hung out for a few hours till they opened the gate. They came up there a little bit before 8, chatted with us for a little bit, and then got us in right around 8 o'clock, where by that time there was a line of cars all the way down the street. So it was an exciting experience. Just even though it was early, getting to hang out with everybody, talk. We just kind of chatting, waiting for the open house, waiting for the gates to open. But yeah, guys, it was fun, a lot of fun. So then the gate opens at 8 o'clock. Of course, everybody rushes in. You know, first few hours I shopped around, got what I was after. There was a few special releases that were only going to drop at open house to everybody in person. I was able to acquire a few of those, as well as several others. Shopped around for a few hours, walked around. They had a food truck there as well. Can't remember the name of the food truck. I'll put that across the screen if I can remember the name of it. Greasy something wagon maybe, but I'll plug that in if I can find it. Yeah, they had breakfast, served breakfast, lunch. It was great. Not having to leave to go get something to eat. So I shopped around for a little while, found everything I need, hung out, you know, talked with some people. Then I shot me a little open house tour video. I'll also plug that into the description below. And just walked around, had a big time. And then about 3 o'clock that afternoon, Tim Nichols took me over to Maplewood, my old garden, and I was able to check it out for the very first time. So I was very excited about that. We filmed a little video. I'm not sure how it's going to turn out, but it was very fun to see all those specimen maples in person for the first time. Awesome garden. It's amazing what they've created over the several years that they've been planting in there. Awesome specimen maples. I was just in shock to see some of them huge maples in person. Some that had been there, you know, 15 years. It was just incredible to me. I was actually speechless on several of them. Yeah, very exciting time. I highly recommend you, if you are a Japanese maple fan, collector, check out MrMaple's open house. Try to give that a spot on your bucket list if you hadn't already. Very fun. Not only is the tree shopping great, but the whole community aspect of it was just top notch. I enjoy that so much, just getting to mingle with people, talk Japanese maples, talk gardens, just the camaraderie of getting along with each other and hanging out, seeing people that you talk to on maybe Facebook or that you see on YouTube under their screen name, getting to meet them in person and talk to them. Just really cool. I enjoyed it a lot. But yeah, definitely check that out. I'll put the links for MrMaple website below, as well as some links for these trees I'm about to show you that I picked up. I picked up several trees at the open house. Some I did pre-purchase. I'll show y'all a few of them. But yeah, guys, super exciting time. I'm still over the moon over it. This will be that was my third open house, and I'll definitely be going back. As y'all know, y'all can probably tell, I'm a huge MrMaple fan. Love their customer service, top notch, 5-star customer service across the board. They always take care of me. They always offer interesting and great stuff every week. Y'all check out their 10 at 10. They have a Tuesday 10 at 10 where they offer up to 20 trees every week. Just fantastic company overall, fantastic people. Highly enjoyed dealing with them and being friends with them. So guys, I'm gonna get into these trees that I got, and I'll try to give you a little description of each one, and if I can find any information, I'll put a link for each cultivar below. But first thing, I'm gonna start with, I actually received a few free gifts from a few people from the friends group on MrMaple. We'll start with this one. This one is Jerry Schwartz. Very cool broom. This was introduced by Billy Schwartz, I believe. And this leaves out in the early spring, bright pink to red. This is a broom. Got a nice serrated leaf on it. You can see that. Grows up very dense. Only gets, I believe, 4 to 5 foot tall in about 10 years. Fall color on it goes to like a really nice orange color. And this was a gift from one of my good friends, Roger Wagner, from the MrMaple Friends group. I actually got to meet him for the first time in person. We got to hang out and talk. He was also at the meetup at Mezzaluna that Sunday night, so I was very appreciative of this. So Roger, thank you again for this, Jerry Schwartz. Yeah, awesome cultivar. I'll link it in the description below. And my second gift. My second gift is Acer Palmatum Kurohime. This was gifted to me by the YouTube channel Maple Nuts, which is Derek Ortiz. You've probably seen him. If you haven't below, I'll link his channel in the description below. He gifted me this Kurohime maple. Very cool. Originated from Japan. Fall colors, bright yellow. Leaves out in the early spring with this just really pink red color, bright pink red color, and then it fades. The leaves fade to like a bluish green late spring, but then on top of that you get this pink to red new growth coming out over top of it, which almost, I mean, looks like flowers, looks like pink flowers on top of the green growth. Very cool. Gets about 5 foot tall, 4 to 5 foot tall in 10 years. Very, very cool. Very appreciative. Derek Ortiz, thank you again for this Kurohime. I appreciate it very much. Alright guys, now we're going to get into a few things that I pre-purchased. Okay, so this one is called Shiraz. This is a sport off of Gesha, if I'm saying that name correctly. Gesha or Gesha I would say. This is a sport off Gesha, which this is believed to be the same tree as Gesha Gone Wild. More than likely it is. This is called Shiraz. S-H-I-R-A-Z-Z, Shiraz. This was an introduction from New Zealand, and it was a sport off Gesha, like I said. Leaves out with kind of these kind of a purple to red leaf in the spring, and then it gets this pink, crazy pink variegation on it, and the more sun you put it in, the variegation kind of mellows out to kind of a cream and green colored variegation on the leaves as the more sun you give it. Gets some pinks and reds and purples in the fall, I believe, as well. And this one gets about 10 foot in 10 years. So Shiraz, very cool cultivar. You can see that through the camera. Yeah, so I bought a 2-gallon of this. I pre-ordered this or pre-purchased this before the open house, so I picked that up while I was there. Okay. Alright, okay, here's another one that I pre-purchased. This is just a very cool Nandina. If I can remember how to pronounce it, this is called Sanbazuru, I believe. This is a originated from Japan. Gets red fall color. It's got this wiry foliage, and you see it's kind of flowering right now on top. Got these white buds with the yellow flowers kind of opening up on it. Very cool. Just thought it was very unique and interesting. Very small dwarf grower. I think this may be almost as tall as it gets. Very cool wiry foliage, and like I said, this gets bright red color in the fall. Very cool, unusual Nandina. I kind of like unusual weird plants, so I did pre-purchase that one as well before open house. Alright, let me look around, see what else I got. Okay. Alright guys, the first one I'm going to show you that I did actually purchase at open house. This is Acer Palmatum Vila. This is just a rock star maple, probably my top 5 maples. Unfortunately, I had one. I did have one by my patio, but it got winter killed. I wouldn't say winter killed, but it got a frost in March. I did cover it up. It still did not like it, and it eventually just died out. So I did pick up another one. This one is from Holland, I believe it is. Introduced by Dick Vandermaat, I believe. Pretty fast grower. I think he puts on a foot of growth a year. This is a nice size already. I'm excited to get this one in the ground. This one leaves out in the early spring with just basically this color, this right here. This is the second flush on it. Leaves out with a reddish pink to, it gets like a yellow to orangish eye on it. Very cool. Just super interesting. Heat tolerant. I had this one in basically full sun last year, and this thing just never faltered. Handled it like a champ, handled the heat like a champ. So I'm anxious to get this one back on the ground. Acer Palmatum Mila. Very cool. Alright, second one I'm going to show you. This is Acer Palmatum Koi. Show you a little bit of new growth. Can you see it? But this is a Kaale variant. This is kind of a bronze colored Kaale variant in the spring. Leaves out with that bronze coloration on it. Eventually turns green, and then it goes to just shades of bright orange in the fall. Gonna be a slow grower. Gonna be relatively short, probably 4 foot in 10-15 years, something like that. But I did. This is another one that I had to get another one of. I had a smaller one than this that I received last year, and I did not get it covered in December when that polar blast came through, and needless to say, it did not survive. I should have left it in a pot for a year or two. My mistake. It is what it is. I have another one now. Acer Palmatum Koi. Third one, number 3. I'll show you. This is Acer Palmatum Allen's Gold. This is actually a pine bark maple. It starts developing, I think this one starts developing the pine bark around year 3 or 4. This one was found, I believe, introduced by a fellow named Pat McCracken, if I'm right. And I believe he got it to Matt and Tim at MrMaple, where they started growing it off. And I believe they actually discovered that it was a pine bark. After several years, they had a 7-gallon, and they went out and looked at their 7-gallon and saw some fissuring on the bark. Gave Pat a call and said, "Hey, I think this is a pine bark." And he says, "No, I don't think that's correct." So I got off the phone. He went and checked. Sure enough, called him back, and it was. So very cool. I have one other pine bark in my garden. I've been excited about getting this one for a while. Leaves out in the spring, just like an orange chartreuse color, which is very cool. Vibrant orange foliage, which greens up like you see now in the late spring, early summer. And then once it hits fall, guess what? It goes orange again. So you got great spring color, very attractive, rich summer color. Then you got the fissuring of the bark, which develops within 3 or 4 years, which is pretty fast. And then you got that amazing orange fall color that it puts on. Just so excited about this one. Acer Palmatum Allen's Gold. And you can see that's every bit of over 2 foot. Awesome. Man, I'm so excited. This one's gonna go behind me. Right there, actually. See, I have a hot blonde that did not make it through the March cold snap either. Bad luck for me this past year, but it's okay. Get past it. I got new stuff to plant, so Allen's Gold. Excited about that one. All right, I got a few more to show you. Let's show you this one. This is Acer Shirazawa Purple Velvet. Do not know a lot about this one. This one is a fairly new introduction from Talon Buchholz, I believe. Not a lot known about this one in the trade, I believe. But yeah, it leaves out with kind of this, I guess this purple to plum colored leaf, which, you know, then goes green and gets these kind of purple to red tips on it. I don't know if you can see that in the camera. but this one was not on my list, but I saw it at open house. Had a great shape to it, very interesting, and I snagged this one up quickly. Acer Shirazawa purple velvet. Super excited about that. Look at that, guys. That's really, really cool. God, I'm so excited. And there's more, guys. There's more. Okay. So how many have I showed you so far? 1, 2, 3, 4 that I picked up. Okay, this is gonna be the 5th one. This is Acer Pictum Usagumo Batwing Maple. Let's see if I can show you. If you can see that in the camera, a little bit of the swirling still left in it, of the variegation on it. This one comes out in spring, like a peach to pink color, almost a coral color. Crazy leaf, crazy leaf color on it. Then that color eventually fades after a few weeks, and then you get this swirling green and white variegation on it. So interesting, so unique. One of the very first ones I picked up from MrMaple, actually, and gosh, it's just, once I saw it leaf out in the spring, I was just like, wow, this is crazy. And then in the fall, it goes to more yellows and oranges on it. Great fall color, just super interesting variety. It's one you don't see every day. I want to say this one's kind of rare, one of the rarer ones that I own now. But yeah, Acer Pictum Usagumo. I'm so excited about this one, guys. I was so happy to get another one. Like I said, I had a bad winter. I did have one that was about 3.5 foot tall. It was in a bad spot on the facing north. Got blasted with the north wind, and it never came back. But Acer Pictum Usagumo. Alright, here's another one. Actually, this is another pre-purchase. I purchased this one for open house. This is Pinus Sylvester's Green Penguin. Very cool Scots pine. Can't remember the exact origination or who introduced it. It's got new growth coming off of it. It's doing very well. Jim Putman planted one of these in his yard. He has a YouTube channel called Your HortTube. If you hadn't seen it, check it out. But yeah, Green Penguin grows in a pyramid shape. Gets 3 to 4 foot tall in 10-15 years. A very cool pine, one I've always wanted. This is the penguin, and then there's another one that's a gold version. I cannot remember the name of it. There's a gold version. If I remember that, I'll flash it across the screen. But yeah, Pinus Sylvester's Green Penguin, and I do want the gold version of this one as well. Maybe it's called Mosery, M-O-S-E-R-I. For some reason, that's what I'm thinking. But either way, I'll flash the name of the gold version of this that I want to get across the screen. All right, another one I picked up. This is a huge Orangeola that I picked up. Actually put a post up on the MrMaple Friends page on Facebook, just with a little poll, just for fun. Just pick random varieties. I have a container that I was going to make a weeping container. I was going to put some kind of weeping tree or weeping maple or just a Japanese maple in general in it. And this is one I just threw on the list, and it won. It got 22% of the votes. So, holding to my word, I picked up Orangeola. This is a large one. So we'll see how it looks in this container. I'll be potting this up today or tomorrow possibly, and I'll post some pictures on the Facebook group, or probably put a little post on YouTube of it. But yeah, Orangeola goes orange, leaves out with some oranges and some, I guess, some kind of pink to red colors in the spring. And then goes orange again in the fall. Just another cool lace leaf. Pendulous, kind of pendulous, the weeping habit. Very cool. Orangeola. Excited to get this in a container. Alright guys, and I have 1, 2, 3, about 5 more. Next one I'm going to talk about, this one is Acer Palmatum Gables Glory, also known as the chameleon maple. This thing leaves out just like you see that top growth. That's how it leaves out in the spring. The whole thing just leaves out pink to red. Then that growth kind of goes to, I don't know if you can see that kind of an orangish color below it. And then the leaves kind of fade to green and with some darker tones on top of it. Just get all sorts of interesting colors on it. One I've seen several times. There's a fellow by the name of Alan Castile that posts pictures of this one on the MrMaple Friends group all the time, and it just always looks good. I believe he has several of these, and so that just I just had to have one after seeing several of those pictures of his. But very interesting variety. I want to say it gets 10 to 12 foot in 15 years, I believe. So not a relatively slow grower, but good mid-sized tree for the landscape. So we're excited to get that. All right, this is a newer cultivar that I don't know much about. I don't think there's really a lot out there yet. This one is called Acer Palmatum Ramona. And this just gets, the way it's described to me, it's got this jagged leaf on it. I don't know if you can see that. Very cool. New growth on it. And you get, the new growth is just peaches to pinks to kind of salmon colored growth on it. And the way it was described to me, this is like, it gets like lime green, then it gets all this, just explodes with all this new growth. So I'm assuming when it leaves out in the spring, this is the color it's going to be. It's going to be a salmon pink to peach color. Don't know much about the growth rate, but I would assume 8 to 10 foot, 10 years. But very cool cultivar. And actually that's my mother-in-law's name, Ramona. So this one might be a nice gift to her. Maybe. Alright, here is another star of the show. This is a newer, unintroduced version, not formally introduced yet by MrMaple. This one is called Acer Palmatum Nemo. Another Kaale variant, said to get bright orange in the spring. I'm assuming it's going to have about the same fall color, yellows to reds to oranges. Slow grower, and from what I understood, there's only about 7 of these available at open house. And you ever seen that movie Finding Nemo? Well, that's why I was running around that nursery like I was racing around trying to find Nemo, and I got one. But very cool. Super excited to have this one, and a good size on it too. I'll probably container this one for a few years and just moving around the yard and see how it does in different spots. But yeah, I'm super excited I was able to get one of these. Just I'm a big fan of the Kaale variants, as you know, but Acer Palmatum Nemo. Alright guys, have 2 more off camera here. Okay, now let's see. Next one I have is Kaale Sharps. This is another Kaale variant, said to be Kaale X Sharps, excuse me. Said to be like a cross of Kaale Sharps and Kaale Yatsubusa and Sharps Pygmy. So Pygmy. Introduction by Crispin Silva. I'm assuming slow growth rate. I guess it's got the habit of pygmy, Sharp's pygmy, and a Makawa Yatsubusa, but very, don't know a whole lot about it. I'm assuming yellows to oranges in the fall. Another slow growth rate, probably 4 to 5 foot, 10 years. But yeah, very excited to find this. There was only 4 or 5 of them, I believe. I was able to get one of them. Acer Palmatum Makawa Sharps. And then the last one. This is one I'm probably most excited about, almost most excited about. This one is Acer Palmatum Jade Dragon. This is one of the, I think this is the first introduction by MrMaple. Tightly layered, yellow-orange fall color, super slow growth rate. They actually have one in their garden at Maple Knoll Garden at Miss Evelyn's house, and I promise you, I believe it's almost 30 years old, and 25 to 30 years old, and it's only probably less than 4 foot tall, but super awesome for bonsai. Looks like it's got some orangish new growth coming out on top, small leaves. You can see that. Very cool. Even got growth coming from the base here. Super cool, super interesting. One I've actually been waiting on for a couple of years, and I was super excited to get it. So yeah, Acer Palmatum Jade Dragon. So that's roughly 10 or 11, 12 that I picked up at open house. I'm still over the moon. I'm still excited from open house. Hopefully I can go back to another one. If not this year, maybe next year. But been to 2 this year so far, so I feel really blessed. Got a lot of great trees, met a lot of great people, had a lot of great times, and I'm just so appreciative of getting to do that and acquire these maples and just make some memories in the process. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Y'all check out the MrMaple Friends group, and guys, I'll be putting links for these in the description below, for these cultivars. If I can find anything, I'll put it in the description below. I'll link MrMaple's website as well. But guys, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope this has got you excited about maybe going to an open house in the future, and hope you get excited over some of these cultivars like I have, because I mean, I'm just super excited to have them. I'm looking forward to getting them in the ground or getting them in containers and watching them progress and grow. So guys, thank y'all for watching. Y'all have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.